Welcome. Life's messy, funny, and full of stories worth telling. On Cat Stories, we bring you a bunch of short ones every time, quick, relatable, and maybe just what you needed today. My name's Kathleen and let's jump in. And for our next post, am I the idiot for attending a concert again? Throwaway account. First timer poster. Background: on the first day of ticket sales, I bought 4 tickets for day 1 of the concert for me plus 3 friends. On the second day of ticket sales, I told one of the same friend going for the concert to buy 4 tickets for day 2 of the concert if she can get better seats. However, she bought 4 tickets for terrible seats sitting at the sides, bad view of the screen main stage. I told her it's okay, she can still sell it. From then till a few days before the concert, she barely tried to sell her tickets. Maybe just repost our post. I also told her that if she's unable to sell the tickets, I wouldn't mind going again. A day before the concert day 1, she still hasn't sold her tickets. After concert day 1, I was telling her about how I want to go again. She then said that she will ask other 2 friends if they are available to go and will just give them the tickets for free. I felt I jokingly gave her the city eye and asked her to give it to me for free too. She didn't had any issues rejecting my requests before, so I thought she will just reject me again. Then she asked me if I want to go again. Alright, so here's why I think I might be the age. I didn't give her a clear reply whether I wanted to go. I just asked her how much is it, and she went off about how we should actually split the costs of the tickets. Then she said she actually also didn't want to go, but if no one buys, she will just go to minimize her loss. So I assumed she doesn't want to go either. Then I didn't bring it up again. Day 2 of the concert, she told me that she managed to sell all 4 of the tickets, a significant loss. So I thought all is settled. But my impulsive thoughts made me check the ticket website to see if they still have tickets, and they did, for even better seats. After some consideration, I bought it and went for the concert happily. After coming back from the concert, my friend questioned me why I didn't use her ticket before she sold it. I told her I didn't know she sold all and only bought the ticket after I found out she sold her tickets. She replied that if I told her I wanted to go, she would have went too. She hasn't paid me then for the tickets I bought, so I guess she was trying to use the cost of her tickets to cancel out mine. Then she ended with, now I know where I stand and what to do for future concerts. I had assumed she didn't want to go, and when she said she sold all 4 tickets, I really thought all was settled. Am I the idiot? And for our next post, am I the idiot for wanting my friend to drive us to my GFS surgery? My girlfriend is having knee surgery in the next 3 days. Her knee surgery is almost 2 hours away in a big city I've never driven in. I asked my friend, who I've known for 15 years plus, if she could drive us. I am autistic and have extreme anxiety while driving in unfamiliar places. My friend has known this for a whole month now. She texts me today saying her car is getting a new radio put in. It's been there for 3 weeks already. I told her that was okay since we could take my car instead and my girlfriend could at least drive to her house. She told me it wouldn't be safe driving in my car and she'd feel more safe in hers. I asked her about taking one of her parents' cars since they have 3 more cars she could take. She said she couldn't. My girlfriend starts to blame me, saying we wouldn't have this problem if I would just suck it up and drive. So am I the idiot for not wanting to drive my GF to surgery? And for our next post, am I the idiot for refusing to apologize after asking my friend if she used her brain to think? English is my 17th second language, so sorry in advance. It's a bit messy, both my English and what happened. I had a crush on my friend Pam 17F for some time now. Always figured that if I confessed, the worst that could happen is a rejection. I did not even get a chance to confess. My other friend decided to tell her on my behalf, something she did without consulting me, mind you. And it turns out Pam thought I was gay, because I watch Bridgerton and enjoy it enough to buy all the books. Said the only reason to watch the show is to check out the Duke and the Viscount. As if my crush thinking I'm gay isn't bad enough, she also told a few of our mutual friends that I'm gay. Friends who frequently engage in gossip. I've already had to deal with 2 false rumors about myself at school, that my dad took part in a deeply unpopular coup d'etat and that I'm Cambodian because of my dark skin. Took months to convince people my dad was already discharged before the coup, and some of my classmates still question my ethnicity. Unlike most people here in my country, I do not hate Cambodians, but I do not want to be mistaken for one either, just out of desire to avoid harassment. She knew about those rumors and how they affected me, so I snapped at the prospect of a potential third rumor. Nothing against gay people, I just don't want to deal with any more crud. Just want a peaceful final year of high school before heading off to university. I asked her, did it ever occur to you that I might have been checking out Daphne and Kate? Or did you forget to use your brain to think? Pam said there was no need to be so rude and hostile, and that it was simply a mistake. And for our next post, am I the idiot for not calling my mom the first thing in the morning after an accident? My mother is abroad now. Yesterday she had an accident and broke her arm. She had a cast put on her arm and sent home. During the day we talked several times. I asked her how her arm was and how she was feeling. This morning I woke up, quickly browsed social media and went to do my morning routine. About 20 minutes later my mother called me, really offended, with the words, "Didn't you see that I was online, that I was already awake? Why don't you call me? Don't you care about me?" She said that this applies not only to her, but also to other people in similar situations. She said I had to change, otherwise people would be offended by me. After yesterday's conversations, I knew that my mother was already at home, that her arm was hurting, but slowly healing. I understood that the situation was more or less normal, so I didn't feel the need to call urgently as soon as I woke up. Of course, I was going to call when I finished my morning routine. So, am I the idiot for not calling my mom the first thing in the morning? And for our next post, am I the idiot for exposing my friend? Throwaway act for context, I 18 and my friend 16, who I'll be referring to as B, have known each other for almost 2 years now. We met at work and quickly became friends. After I moved out of my home state, our friendship remained and we would play Dead by Daylight very frequently. Over the past 2 months though, I noticed a lot of upsetting things coming from them. This included B cheating on their partner, which I found out about when they were complaining that their now ex-partner was bitter and upset they had been cheated on, though they weren't doing anything extraordinary, just posting sad songs on their story and venting about it to other people to my memory. They also shared some very appalling political opinions involving killing off 70% of my country's population. They tried to backpedal on that one, saying they were tired and that wasn't what they meant. But I don't believe that due to their specific wording, though I don't want to get into that on here to avoid politics. While not I would vent to my best friend of 5 years, F20, who I'll be calling about these events, but I never specified who it was, despite them not knowing each other. Eventually, they did meet, and we began very infrequently playing games together. Though I had tried to brush off the previous incidents with B, our friendship had begun to falter. Eventually, when we had agreed to do something at a specific time, they elected to instead ghost me and play Minecraft for over 7 hours straight and lie to me that they were eating and would join me soon. Though this was far from the worst thing they had done, it was a behavior I saw from them very frequently and I had gotten fed up with it. Piled onto the previously mentioned events, I chose to leave our group chat where we'd play games and hang out. When I vented to her about it, I admitted that it was actually B in this instance, as well as the previous 2 things I had told her about. She was understandably repulsed and said she didn't want to hang out around them anymore, which I didn't push back on. I removed B from the group chat the 3 of us were in and explained that I didn't want to be around them anymore and told them why. Upon learning that I had told her the things they openly talked about to me, they freaked out, telling me I should have talked to them about it and telling me to go fudge myself before blocking me. I followed them to a different chat and told them I had good reason to talk about the things they constantly did, which I feel that I did because of their actions were very scummy, and B, they never requested I keep any of this to myself. Now, we argued a bit longer, and it culminated in B telling me that I'm a bad person for laughing at how mad they were, which I did in response to them directly insulting me. I personally feel like I was justified in talking about B to my friend, and that it's reasonable to want to vent when your friend is consistently being a bad person, but am I the idiot? And for our next post, am I the idiot for asking roommates to evenly split fridge space? I live in an apartment with 2 other people. One of them just moved out and has been replaced by a new person. One girl is on the lease, Annie I am subleasing, and the other girl Sally is subleasing as well. I pay the largest share of rent because my room is biggest 1,300. Then Annie pays around 1K, and Sally pays around 900. Annie has lived in the apartment the longest, hence why she's on the lease. The kitchen is fully stocked, however, the fridge isn't really well organized. I cook all of my meals homemade, and my roommates do not. I grocery shop for the week and assumed we'd have our own shelves, but we don't. Annie insists that because her water filter needs to be on the top shelf because of its size, that it's not fair for the other shelves to not have as much space. She even suggested that I be more mindful of how I grocery shop so I get less food, but I got pre-chopped veggies to be mindful so it would take up less space in storage bags to repackage meat and get it into a smaller container. I also had no room for anything on the fridge door at all, except for butter because it was taken up by stuff belonging to Annie and our former roommate. I tried to bring up organizing the fridge so each roommate has their own shelf, and Annie shut it down. I would like to revisit the conversation now that Sally is moving in, but am not sure how without seeming demanding or pushy. I would prefer to just have my own space for food. I've never lived in an apartment with others and not had my own shelf or part of a shelf. The other roommates let things spill in their food containers and the shelves aren't super clean either, which isn't how I keep my space. I would rather be responsible for my own shelf and my own food. Annie takes up the fridge door with her stuff but claims that the top shelf allows everyone to put taller containers like milk or juices etc. into the fridge. I think that because she wants the water filter in the fridge then it goes on her shelf and she deals with it. She should be more mindful of what she puts on the door so people can put taller containers. Overall it feels like she is in total control of what happens in the apartment and we have no say. I like her a lot and don't want any issues with her, but I pay more than anyone in that apartment and I'd like my own space with food. Any suggestions I've had about getting more furniture for the living space etc. has been shut down by Annie. It feels like she doesn't see me as a member of the household despite me living there. In the fridge there are 3 shelves and we are 3 roommates. Am I the idiot? Am I just being demanding about the food space? Our former roommate would use my food as well and I don't share my food like that because I'm on a budget and get things according to my recipe. I don't want people touching my food or using stuff without my permission and want to maintain a clean space where my food goes. Then I am responsible for that space. Edit. I live in NYC and do not want to put a fridge in my room. I don't want to be walking back and forth across the apartment when I am cooking and there are roach issues in the building, so I do not want food in my room. We've seen a few in the apartment. I got traps and am clean AF but won't keep any food in my room. I am also not on the lease and do not want to give Annie a reason to find a new subletter. I work remote and spend a lot of time in the house and want to keep the peace. Alright, that's it for this one. If these stories made you smile or think, hit like and subscribe for more. Oh, and don't forget to share your own stories in the comments. I love hearing them. See you next time. It's Kathleen. See you all later.